Hello, my name's Robin Duda, and thanks for watching. Today is part 2 about fear as a doorway to evolution. I want to look at how owning fear, healing fear, and embracing fear can actually lead to greater conscious loving. So, for a moment, I want you to imagine yourself as a child talking to your parents. And any kind of moment that you know you just said the wrong thing, and all of a sudden there's your father all tense, or there's your mom trying to shut you down, or there's your auntie saying, "Don't talk about that." And your own body goes into a freeze or an anxiety, or your throat stops being able to express what you really wanted to say. All of us, in lots of different environments, have not been able to speak our truth because it triggered somebody else. So if we take that understanding of conditioning and we imagine now trying to be close to somebody and you're dancing around their fear, what do you think that's going to create? We have a situation where people don't know how to be close because they're not willing to trigger somebody else's anxiety or fear or their own fear by speaking their own truth. And this creates what we've all seen many, many moments like a sitcom, that we're just bumping into each other, trying to dance around each other's triggers, and nobody's really saying what they feel, they need, what they want. So I've had to deconstruct this in my life to really grow in love with my husband. I've taught my kids to be radically honest, and it's not always comfortable. But I want to share a little bit more about how the value and the empowerment when we really embrace our fear in relationships and don't avoid it, how that can lead to a lot of fun, love, and self-knowledge. I'd like to show you a clip I recorded earlier describing some work I did with a couple when they worked through their fear and how their intimacy increased. And I want to tell you a little story about how when you heal fear and bring fear into awareness in our relationships, how it can empower the love that we all really want. I worked with a couple that in their 50s, late 50s, had never been able to get really, really intimate and close to the level they both really wanted. And when we started exploring the conditioning of their past, the man, beautiful, incredible, kind man, was never allowed to express his truth in his family. His father was extremely ill, and he never had a true voice that was listened to. And from other kinds of experiences of healing his cancer, he came to realize that he never valued his own truth, his own emotions. So when he came to his wife, he couldn't even speak his feelings or fears because he had never given himself permission to have them. His wife was raised in a very brutal family, that every time the truth was spoken emotionally or expressed or cried or screamed, or someone protested what the father was doing, the children were beaten. So she learned to just absolutely shut down her voice. And she began then to realize that everything she wanted from her husband, she immediately assumed if she spoke it out loud, she was going to be punished. So these were patterns from their past that were keeping them from ever speaking their emotional needs and ever moving through their fear together in the relationship as part of their loving of each other. So we started working very deeply. How do you let yourself have your fear in the moment, express it to each other, and really drop into present time and pull back that projection from the past trauma that you're putting in the moment? So they worked with me for about 6 months, and they learned how to do that. So their relationship went from a very numb, nice, kind, cooperative state to a deepened state of connecting in their bodies, opening their hearts, being vulnerable, being willing to express their fears and their needs and their wants, and realizing they didn't have to be controlled by the past conditioning of their childhood in their present intimacy. So my invitation to all of us and to you is, how are you letting your unhealed or unclaimed or denied fear keep you out of present time and moving into the most courageous action of your life? Fear does not have to stop you from taking action. Fear actually can inform you of what you need to complete from the past. That's a big lie. Lies like this: when I'm afraid, I'm weak. When I'm afraid, my needs will never get met. When I have fear, I'm not in love. When I have fear, I'm bad. If I have fear that someone's going to take advantage of me and control me, These are all lies. Might be experiences you've had, but if you believe them as the truth, you're just going to keep repeating that in every moment that comes up and comes up and comes up. You're just going to be relaying the past into the present. So I invite us to let fear become your teacher of what you're trying to heal and resolve. And then what starts to build in our hearts is courage. I know that I'm in courageous action when my fear is tingling in my body. Not that I'm after creating a lot of anxiety and fear in my life, but I know that if I'm expanding, fear is one of those doorways that I'm going to have to walk through, and I invite it. I don't run from it anymore because I have so much more fun as a courageous lover of life than letting my fear avoid life, letting my fear control my life, letting my fear shut my voice down. Fear is not our enemy if we use it for empowerment. And I can't wait to see any of you decide that courage is the path with fear instead of avoiding your true nature. Thank you so much for watching. These are exciting times. And I ask you, what do you need to love today?